Good morning from Boise, Idaho state capital right there. I've been in Boise for a couple of days, meeting with a lot of local anti-fascist organizers, telling me about the far-right groups that are trying to develop a hold here in Idaho. Also, the really important organizing work that's happening to counter that. Yesterday, I also met with Kimra Luna, who is the founder of Idaho Abortion Rights, told me about all the things that Idaho Abortion Rights is doing just to try to get people access to information, as well as helping connect them to care or helping them get abortion pills where they need that. They have boxes that local businesses can put out with things like emergency contraception, condoms, information about abortion. And they told me that a lot of those businesses have faced harassment for having the boxes out, but that they've chosen to keep them out anyway. I also met a woman, Avalon, who was arrested for protesting in an abortion rights protest here at the Capitol last year. I met her lawyer, who's involved in a lot of civil rights work around the state. Meet the folks at Legal Voice, who are leading the charge against the abortion bans here in the state. They're leading a lot of that litigation, as well as the director of Planned Parenthood Alliance Advocates for Idaho. So I'm gonna be talking with them to learn about a lot of that kind of big picture litigation and legislative work. And then tonight I am going to be meeting with some folks from Indigenous Idaho Alliance who are actually plaintiffs in that lawsuit challenging the abortion bans, or in those lawsuits, I should say. There are multiple. How deeply people care about their home and how hard a lot of people are working to reverse course from the extremism that has taken hold here. But then I also ended my day with a really interesting conversation with the folks from Indigenous Idaho Alliance, who talked to me about their involvement. They are a plaintiff in the lawsuit challenging Idaho's quote-unquote abortion trafficking ban. They are involved in that. It's one of many strategies that they have undertaken to improve the lives of Indigenous people, and especially women in Idaho. But they also have a lot of criticisms that I think are really important of a lot of the policy leaders here, who are really focused on incremental change because it's the easiest to achieve. It's a part of Idaho that's closer to where I'm from in Wyoming, so I'm really familiar with it. Smaller cities over there, so I'm just making a quicker stop there. One of the folks I'm going to talk to is a business owner who has one of the Idaho abortion rights distribution boxes in her store, so I'm going to be really interested to hear what that experience has been like for her. She's also running for office there in Twin Falls, and so I'm really curious to hear what her experience has been like as someone who is standing up for, among other things, people's access to abortion, or at least information about abortion. And it's actually my last day in Boise before I head to my very last stop on the trip, which is Twin Falls. It's my last day in Idaho. I'm here in the historic downtown area of Twin Falls, which I wanted to show you because I remember coming here as a kid and thinking that it looked like a film set. It's so beautiful here, and this whole area has actually been recently restored. Started my trip by entering the state over the western border with Washington. I'll be ending my trip by exiting over the eastern border into Wyoming. Some really interesting conversations here in Twin Falls. Yesterday I spoke with Leah Babian, who's a local business owner. She's running for city council and has run in the past. She has an Idaho abortion rights box in her store. She's also very open about being anti-racist and anti-bigotry of all forms. She's outspoken about that in the community, which has made some people dislike her. I heard from others in town. But she told me that the Idaho abortion rights box has actually mostly led to really positive conversations, especially with women who are upset about what's happening in the state and really scared as a result of the abortion ban, and glad to see that there is still some help for people who need abortion care here. And that includes, she said, really religious conservative people. She has had some tense conversations, but that she tries to make it a conversation. It's gonna be really interesting to see what happens here in 2024, and if that sentiment is enough to get people really to mobilize. I'm just incredibly grateful for the time I've had here, all the people who've made time to speak with me. Twin Falls, as the name suggests, is also famous for beautiful waterfalls. Because it's October, unfortunately, there's not much I can show you in the way of waterfalls. So I'm just signing off from this gorgeous downtown area.